Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Hello everyone, checking in on the marijuana sector. So we had a big red day today across the board as the S&P 500 was down over 3%. Again, check my market video out because there is a clear 4-hour pattern we're watching in the futures market for the S&P 500. And obviously we have a significant impact of what this sector is doing short term with a bearish correlation, of course, to the S&P 500, but certainly impacted by whether we are red or green every day. So CGC, the backlash from traders and investors, at least initially, from the warehouses closing down. We got the gap down open, keeping a pattern of a lower high every day intact for the last couple of days. That was only broke by a few pennies broken. Otherwise, we would be looking at 10 days in a row of a lower high every day. So that tells us there's a very clear hourly downtrend at this point to use as our guide. And as long as we are in hourly downtrends in any name in the sector, we're not seeing any kind of bounce with any follow through until that trend changes. 1598 and then a gap fill at 1558 are the next two levels to be watching. APHA closed at the low of the day. So again, I pointed out the potential 4-hour inverse head and shoulders yesterday, which means the bulls need to show up tomorrow. Hold 325, start forming this right shoulder, and if we're going to get any follow through, we have to see a break of 375. I personally didn't want to be adding any position today on the kind of day where everything is so red. So I am watching, maybe if I see a setup I like tomorrow, maybe I'll grab a position based off of 325 support to see if the bulls can change that trend. But that trade setup has to be very clear for me because, again, being very, very picky in this sector, no reason to go find trades. The trade has to come to us. 131 on ACB is the triple bottom. And if we break that level, we're looking at 130, 125, 120, just psychological levels. Cron holding up the best out of the major names today. And we had a morning bull break that helped it position well. This move right here. At 1045, we went from, pretty much we saw a 5% plus move. And we gave most of it back. We went from 580 to 620 to 581. Clearly a base of support at 580 is trying to be established. But we held on better because of that move. So I'm looking at Cron down 0.67% today. VFF down 10 times as much percentage-wise. APHA 10 times as much. ACB 5%. So you get the idea. Cron holding on much better. But we know on this move, we have to top out. Wherever that happens, lose the hourly uptrend, set a daily higher low compared to 514, and then change the daily trend if we're going to believe in any follow-through. TLRY, all-time lows continue. As long as we're in free fall at all-time lows, certainly not going to help the sector as a whole. OGI, trying to fend off that daily bear flag, but we're looking down at 205 and $2 support. If 2 breaks, the daily bear flag is confirmed. 189 is the next level after that. Hexo still holding on. If the daily inside bar breaks bearish, we're then looking back down at 105 with our lower high being set. Volume is just disappearing. On the US side here, we traded like $1.5 to $1.8 million today compared to many millions not too long ago. That just shows you the lack of interest with what the volume is currently coming in at. VFF dropping to lower lows closing week. It was down, one of the biggest hit today in the sector. So back to free fall with no support nearby. We're looking at 350 psychological as the next level, and anything under 450 will just be a daily lower high. Again, we could bounce 20% tomorrow and still be in a daily downtrend with a lower high pattern. Labs. So Labs is still trying to hold on to its bounce. It's weak, it's tight. If we break bearish, top of the bounce is set. If we break bullish, hasn't been set yet. VLNS, daily lower high is set because we broke the low of yesterday. So low of the dump. high of the bounce. Bulls must hold 275 and break 343 to change this daily trend. Bulls would like to see hourly oversold conditions to try to scale in for a higher low. If we keep pulling back, that's when I'm most comfortable bottom fishing levels, when we are oversold on at least one time frame heading towards that level. IIPR red today, but not significantly, still holding on. Bulls have to hold a higher low compared to 86.50. The top of the bounce has been set. So I have to hold 86.50 and break 101 to change the daily trend, which would give us our weekly higher low being set. Curaleaf, sideways, second daily inside bar in a row, break it bullish, and our daily higher low is set at 634, break it bearish, no higher low set, and we're still looking at 580 the bottom. C-Web back to test the all-time low. 657 and 625 are the only two supports. One green day, zero follow through. That's why trend changes are so important. If we're just looking at one day, we're going to get faked out. Follow through is essential, and this is not the first time this has happened. 2-day huge bull move, no trend change, give it all back. TRUL, nothing going on. Definitely weaker, closing near the low. Looking at 1209 and 1123 supports. IAN still keeping up that daily bear flag possibility. Just looking at $1.98 as supports, down 8% today. CL back to getting hit. Double top. 6, or make that 590, and 592 is now a double top. 595, it's a triple top. And we're looking back down at 515 as the only nearby level. GTII, strong close at the end of the day, so I want to look, was it a painted close? And it was. Look at the last 5 minutes. So we went up 2% plus in the last 5 minutes to give us this strong candle. That makes it less believable to me than if that were a slow and steady 5-minute uptrend for the last hour of trading. Either way, the daily bounce is clearly underway, and we're looking for a lower high compared to 1219. Harv, nothing going on, sideways. Anything under 316, just a daily lower high. So I may be interested in the sector for a potential bottom fishing play, but it's going to have to see the stars align, so to speak. Otherwise, we are patiently watching the market, because if we get another leg down in the S&P 500 and fear continues to spike, we can definitely drop to lower lows in the sector. Checking in on our shroom plays from yesterday. Temporary top, so gap up for selling. Hopefully people taking profit on that clear gap up. Huge gains. Congrats to anybody that locked them in, because again, at this point, there are people who bought today on FOMO that are now down 20 to 30%. And hopefully anybody that has lived through the last 2 years of the MJ sector is one of those people locking in the profit. And if not, there's something wrong. So less of a pullback on SHRM, still just looking for an hourly higher low. So a less convincing top on this name versus MindMed. Have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you soon.